The car of the future took flight today, the X2 flying car. There it is, taking off in an unmanned test flight in Dubai. It's a two-seater electric vehicle with vertical takeoff and landing capabilities, much like a helicopter. The X2 is described as an important foundation for the next generation of flying cars. Just as people once doubted the Wright brothers' airplane, the idea of flying cars used to seem like pure science fiction. But now, China has introduced its first flying car, and it could change everything we know about transportation. This car can drive on roads and fly in the sky, marking a huge step forward. It can fly for 25 minutes at a maximum speed of around 80 miles per hour. The question on everyone's mind is, how practical is it today? How will it change our cities, and what challenges might it face? Join us as we explore how this flying car could transform transportation, shake up the car industry, and integrate into our daily lives. Just like airplanes revolutionized travel, the X2 represents a prototype for the world's first-ever flying car called the Speng X2. It highlights China's leap forward in electric flying vehicles. After leading the world in electric car production, Chinese companies are now at the forefront of developing electric flying vehicles. China is stepping into the future of transportation with AHT, a company affiliated with the electric vehicle maker Speng, successfully launching its flying car, the X2, at Beijing Daxing International Airport. This maiden flight, part of the China Langfang International Economic and Trade Fair, underscores the country's growing focus on the low-altitude economy. We'll delve into the low-altitude economy later, but first, let's talk about why the X2 is an extraordinary glimpse into the future of flying cars. The X2 looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, yet it's real and ready to take to the skies. Developed by Speng AHT, this fifth-generation flying car boasts a sleek teardrop-shaped design and a fully enclosed cockpit, ensuring top-notch aerodynamics and superior in-flight performance. Its lightweight carbon fiber construction allows it to glide smoothly through the air while staying eco-friendly with zero carbon emissions. Imagine a quick hop across town for a medical emergency or a scenic trip, all without contributing to pollution. The X2 offers two driving modes: manual, for those who want to take control, and autonomous, for a hands-off flight experience with just the press of a button. This high-tech flying car even wowed officials in Dubai when it made its first public flight, passing stringent safety and risk assessments. It's a significant achievement not just for Speng but also for China, as it enters the race for autonomous, eco-friendly air travel. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or just tired of traffic jams, the X2 provides a glimpse into the future of transportation. With plans to commercialize the X2 soon, AHT is gearing up to take orders by the end of the year. The exact price remains unknown, but expectations are high as the company has been developing flying cars since 2013. The X2's public debut flight in Dubai in 2022 was historic. The flying car's launch secured a special flying permit from Dubai's Civil Aviation Authority, DCA, after rigorous safety assessments. Over 150 influential attendees, including officials from the Chinese consulate and the Dubai International Chamber of Commerce, witnessed the event at Skydive Dubai, with stunning views of the Palm providing the backdrop. Brian Gu, vice chairman and president of Speng, emphasized Dubai's reputation as a city of innovation, making it an ideal venue for this milestone. Hassan Al-Hashemi, acting president of the Dubai International Chamber of Commerce, highlighted how the X2 represents ambition, innovation, and a bold vision for the future of mobility. This flight marks the beginning of a new era, shaping how we think about transportation over the next 50 years. Flying cars like the X2 are becoming integral to the rapidly expanding low-altitude economy. This term refers to businesses and activities involving vehicles and drones operating below 3,000 meters, including emergency services, delivery, tourism, and commuting. The sector is growing fast in China, with government support and projections of reaching over $38 billion by 2026. However, challenges such as underdeveloped infrastructure and lack of uniform standards are hurdles to overcome. Companies like AHT and EHang are pushing boundaries to position China as a leader in this transportation revolution. The practical use of drones is already evident, such as a recent drone flight off Shanghai's coast delivering fresh seafood in just 3 hours, an innovation that preserves freshness and showcases the practicality of low-altitude aviation. The central government's push for low-altitude economic growth has eased airspace restrictions, enabling innovations like drone sightseeing trips, helicopter shuttles, and medical supply deliveries. This development is not only creating new job opportunities but also boosting sustainability efforts. China's advances in electric aviation position it to become a global leader, much like its success in electric vehicles. With loosened regulations, increased investment, and growing consumer interest, the low-altitude economy is poised for explosive growth. Whether transporting cargo, delivering medical supplies, or offering breathtaking tours, drones and small aircraft are proving their practicality. Flying cars like the X2 could soon revolutionize personal transportation, making them as commonplace as electric cars. With a projected revenue of $2 trillion by 2030, the low-altitude economy is just getting off the ground, driving innovation and shaping the future of mobility. eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, are poised to create an entirely new transportation landscape, signaling a great shift in how people and goods will move in the future. According to China Post Securities, these aircraft offer 60% energy savings, 90% lower emissions, and produce 65% less noise than traditional fuel-powered helicopters. This makes them not only eco-friendly but also more suitable for urban environments where noise pollution and environmental concerns are growing. The tech province of Guangdong, particularly Shenzhen, home to drone giant DJI, is at the forefront of this eVTOL revolution. Local governments are actively supporting the development of this technology through initiatives and test flights, ensuring that the infrastructure is in place for wider adoption. This focus on reducing environmental impact while fostering innovation highlights how eVTOLs could transform modern cities into cleaner, quieter spaces. EHang, a prominent player in the eVTOL market, made a significant breakthrough in autonomous aviation by becoming the first company to receive an airworthiness certificate from China's aviation regulator for its 2-passenger aircraft. This certification marks a major milestone, validating the safety and technical capabilities of EHang's aircraft. EHang, a global leader in urban air mobility technology, has announced a significant achievement with the first successful flight of its pilotless eVTOL aircraft, paving the way for commercial operations. With over 1,200 pre-orders from international markets, EHang anticipates that on-demand air taxis will become a common mode of transport within the next 5 years. This growing demand highlights the potential for eVTOLs to revolutionize urban mobility, offering a faster, quieter, and more environmentally friendly alternative to traditional ground transport. Despite this progress, challenges remain, particularly in the areas of battery technology and safety. Current eVTOL batteries need higher energy density to support longer, more complex flights, which limits the aircraft's operational range. Additionally, safety concerns require extensive testing and development before eVTOLs can be deployed on a large scale. Regulatory authorities are cautious, with official guidelines predicting that widespread commercial use of eVTOLs may not become a reality until 2035. This timeline allows time for technological advancements and safety protocols to be thoroughly established, ensuring that the transition to autonomous electric flying vehicles is both safe and sustainable. Investors are showing strong confidence in the eVTOL market, with over 85% of China's low-altitude aviation investments directed toward these aircraft. Venture capital funding is flooding into the sector, with companies like Aerofugia and Volant Aerotech securing major investments. Even China's leading electric vehicle companies are entering the race. Speng AHT, a subsidiary of Speng Motors, plans to start mass-producing eVTOLs by 2026, aiming to sell them for around 2 million yuan. To address the safety concerns surrounding eVTOL aircraft, China's aviation authorities have implemented a step-by-step development strategy. This approach focuses initially on cargo flights in suburban and less densely populated areas, allowing companies to accumulate safe flight hours and data before moving into passenger transport. By starting with low-risk operations, eVTOL companies can build a foundation of trust and reliability, gradually working toward more complex urban operations. For example, The Prosperity eVTOL by Autoflight successfully completed a 70 km cross-sea flight between Shenzhen and Zhuhai, demonstrating the viability of cargo transport over longer distances. In a milestone for the aviation industry, Chinese firm Autoflight recently completed a successful manned flight between two cities and across bodies of water in southern China's Guangdong province. This cautious approach is essential to ensuring that eVTOL technology is perceived as safe and reliable before it is introduced into highly populated city environments. For passenger use. In addition to the phased strategy, consumer adoption remains a key hurdle for eVTOL companies. Venture capital funding is pouring into the industry, but consumer interest and trust must grow to ensure widespread use. Content creators like Zelly play a significant role in demystifying the technology and making the concept of personal flight more relatable to the public. By sharing his personal experiences with eVTOL aircraft through social media, Zelly helps bridge the knowledge gap and builds excitement around the potential of this new form of transport. His efforts, alongside those of other eVTOL advocates, are critical to transforming eVTOLs from a futuristic concept into a viable option for everyday commuters. As the technology progresses and safety records are established, consumer enthusiasm will be pivotal to the market's long-term success. However, there have been questions about whether China is truly innovative or merely borrowing from others. The answers may surprise you. When the tech behind a revolutionary flying car first developed in Europe was sold to a Chinese company, it underscored a key truth. China is not simply waiting to catch up in the race for flying cars, it is actively shaping the future of personal air transport. A Chinese firm based in Guangzhou recently acquired the exclusive rights to manufacture and use the aircar, an innovative vehicle that transforms from car to aircraft in just over 2 minutes. Originally powered by a BMW engine and designed to run on standard fuel, the aircar completed a successful 35-minute flight between two Slovakian airports in 2021, marking a major milestone in the development of flying vehicles. This acquisition is not an isolated example. China is rapidly emerging as a leader in the flying car space, with companies like Autoflight and EHang making headlines. Autoflight recently tested a passenger-carrying drone, successfully flying it between Shenzhen and Zhuhai cities separated by a journey that typically takes 3 hours by car. The drone completed the trip in just 20 minutes, although it did not yet carry passengers. Meanwhile, EHang, a pioneer in electric vertical takeoff and landing technology, received a safety certificate from Chinese authorities for its flying taxis, which are expected to become a common mode of transport within the next decade.